Hello again, I'm Janelle Thompson. I'm the family nurse practitioner here at your Hawkeye Student Health Clinic, and welcome to another episode of What the Health? Today we're answering the question talking about sleep. This is a common topic that's brought up into the exam room with college students. You college students are burning your candles at both ends, and understandably. Just like the rest of our body, as we are going through busyness every day and metabolizing with our cells, our brain is performing metabolism also during the day. And during the time of sleep, our brain takes those metabolites and it flushes out the byproducts of metabolism. It does it about 10 times faster while our body's sleeping than it does when we're awake. So it's a cleansing time for the brain. So there are many side effects from lack of sleep. It really does have a big influence on almost every system in your body. Lack of sleep can decrease your libido, it can cause weight gain, it can decrease your ability to learn, your memory retention, it can decrease your immunity, it can make you more prone to mental illness and to medical illnesses. When someone comes in for evaluation of a sleep disorder, I'm looking at 4 different things when I make my evaluation. I'm looking at the amount, the quality, the timing, and the state of mind in regards to their sleep. So first of all, the amount of sleep that a person between the age of 18 and 26 years of age is to get is really 7 to 9 hours. So the quality of sleep is influenced by a number of factors in our life, both internal and external. So things that we eat, that we drink, illnesses, mental illness and medical. Next, let's talk about our timing of sleep. So the circadian rhythm is a process in our systems that secretes hormones that help tell our bodies when it's time to be hungry, when it's time to be sleepy, when it's time to be alert and awake. And that has a big influence on our sleep pattern. And then your state of mind. So your state of mind has a lot to do with your quality of sleep. Your state of mind and your attitude towards sleep, such as if it's time to go to bed and you're dreading sleep. So what do we do as a first-line treatment when somebody comes in and they're having trouble with sleep? We like to always start with a good sleep hygiene program. So what is that? Sleep hygiene is really putting in place a plan to help you develop a routine, set, healthy schedule for how sleep should be approached. With that, we make recommendations where you set a bedtime and a wake-up time that's about the same time every day of the week, even on those weekends. We want you to try to exercise routinely. We want you to eat nutritionally. We don't want any large meals before you go right to bed, but we don't want you going to bed hungry either, because some people will wake up at night just because they're hypoglycemic. We want you drinking plenty of water. We want you avoiding caffeine, especially in the afternoon, because that's a stimulant. It's also a good idea to avoid nicotine, especially right before bed. Alcohol should be limited or not used at all. We also want a good sleep environment. So if working with sleep hygiene doesn't really cut it for you, there are some over-the-counter medication options. Medication like ZzzQuil, NyQuil, Tylenol PM, ibuprofen PM. So mostly the active ingredient in those medications would be diphenhydramine, which is the same medication as Benadryl. So that's an antihistamine, and the side effects of that are what make it useful for sleep. It makes you tired, makes you groggy. The downside of that medication in a sleep aid is it does make you tired, groggy, and oftentimes people will wake up the next day and they'll feel almost hungover. But there are limitations, and it's not something that is recommended to continue anytime for long term. Another option is melatonin. So melatonin would be in the vitamin aisle. It is actually a hormone that our body secretes and tells the body that it's time to get ready for bed, and it was influenced by sunlight. So taking melatonin a couple of hours before bedtime can be beneficial, but it's not recommended that that's used longer than 3 months. Lastly, if you've tried these things and you're still not having good luck, that's when we really recommend that you do come into the clinic and talk to me. There are many other conditions that can cause people to have difficulty sleeping, not just their lifestyle. And by having a good history taken, a physical examination, we can talk about other options. We have a mental health counselor here that works with sleep therapy, and she would be able to discuss some things with you, and I would be able to work with you on if other testing is indicated, and we could look for further cause if necessary. So that's why we're here. So there's another episode of What the Health. Please tune in again next week, and we will bring you another episode, and we look forward to continuing to get questions and comments from you. We'll see you again soon.